Warning: the following show may contain strong language and other content that may not be suitable for a younger audience. The show also contains spoilers for any and all anime and manga. Always check the description below for spoiler warnings. And if you don't, well, that's your own fault.
So, K-On! Is it is the best slice of life anime as far as I'm concerned. And there are multiple reasons for that, which I will delve into in the mist. Literally, well, water is not necessarily a mist, but, no. So K-On!, basically what makes the show so good is the cast, because you have these 5 very dynamic and fleshed out characters. This is probably the most pointless thing that anyone on Earth has ever listened to.
Bam! You've tuned in to SmackDown Night on the WWG. We have an exciting match. I'm Howard Fizzle, whatever the shit. On one corner, it's Saucy Simon.
I'm coming to take your job. I'm coming to take your name, and I'm coming to take your fame, brother.
Oh man. On the other corner, it's Vicious Vacant.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is never mind.
Never mind. This is episode 89 of the Whoa. Never mind. It's episode 89.
Never mind. Episode 89.
What show is this?
This is... Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching at home. This is the Manga Raiders Community Happy Hour!
Now, I want to address something right away, because we both say the word differently. You say manga, and I say manga.
Yeah.
But what would technically be the correct definition, or correct pronunciation?
There isn't one.
Because manga sounds right, because you're like, it's like M-A-N.
Do you know why manga sounds right to you?
Manga.
Do you know why that sounds right
M-A-G.
to you?
Manga,
Yeah, except with the N. You've got an N in there. It sounds right to you because you're used to saying it that way, because that's how everyone says it where you are from.
Well,
it's an accent thing.
I said manga first, and my friend was all like, no, you're not saying it right.
One of them elitist friends. It's actually manga. I think you're fine.
To be fair, he also said Waifu. Which,
Waifu!
Personally, I prefer the pronunciation of Waifu to Waifu myself, because it sounds like waffle.
I was going to say, a Waifu sounds like you're a waffle that you are a breathless waffle that you're so enamored with that you'd want to take to bed. Not to bed.
Yeah.
You'd want to take down the aisle, marry that goddamn waffle.
Honestly, waifu sounds like a dumb word, but wafu.
It is a dumb word.
Wafu has the extra to it,
Wafu.
Has a little bit of the wapo. It's like a sound effect.
How did he say otaku?
Otaku.
I knew it. How did they say
Taco USA?
Weeaboo.
Oh God. Episode 89. This is the last one of the 80s now.
It is.
That means we gotta do 10 great albums from 1989. So, at the end of this decade, 10 great albums were Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1814, Skid Row, self-titled, Wasp, The Headless Children, The Cure, Disintegration, Faith No More, The Real Thing, featuring Epic. You know that song from Rock Band? This SpongeBob voice? Yeah. Beastie Boys, Paul's Bouquet, Fugazi, 13 Songs, White Lion, Big Game, Ace Frehley, Trouble Walking, and I could finally mention this album without making a joke, Nirvana, Bleach You Go. Bleach, just when they released their first album, and it wasn't the greatest. But I finally get to mention it without making a bad joke.
It's Bleach. Do you get it? Like the show Bleach.
Ha ha. Except it was made before.
Anime jokes. The following show will contain many anime jokes. I'm going to be dropping some anime puns. I hope you all enjoy them.
It may also contain. Shut up.
Contain.
Yeah,
I tell you what, 80s... it will contain.
What?
Mr. Cutoff Master. It's going to be.
Oh wait, I have to make an apology for last episode.
What's the apology?
So Vacant. When you were talking about Persona 5, I mentioned the Captain Beefheart song, Japan in a Dish Pan.
You did.
I have to apologize.
Twice.
I have to apologize because it wasn't off Trump Mass Replica. It was off the next album, Lick My Deckles Off, Baby. So I just felt like I had to make an apology to the memory of Beefheart and everyone else involved.
You've just reminded me as well. Correction, I have to make myself. Remember when we were talking about Loom? Alum?
Yes.
I said that Urusei Yasutora translated to Beautiful Dreamer. That is not correct. Beautiful Dreamer is the second film in the franchise. The only one I've seen.
Oh. Well, I mean, at least you were close. You could have been, like, way off. So
I only realized when I went back and was doing the link dump, and I was like,
The link dump where you didn't include my new album.
What did I... Why... No.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm not crying anymore.
It's okay.
I'm not crying anymore.
It'll be put on this one. We'll put it in the link dump. It'll be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
It's all right. It's okay.
But yeah.
I'll get over it.
You'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's all going to be good. Every little thing's going to be all right. Don't you worry.
Got it. Okay, I don't worry anymore.
But do you know what we should do? After all these corrections, after all these introductions and all this stuff, well, after all these wrestling introductions, we've introduced the show. We've not introduced ourselves properly because people heard in the beginning, Saucy Simon and Vicious Vacant, or whatever you said. Yeah, that's one person. For anyone tuning in at home who may be new, they may think one of us is Simon, one of us is Vacant. That's me. That's both of mine.
Oh my god.
It was to convey a dual identity thing that Manimal thought of. Basically, all of our intros, if you ever hear the dumb skits...
Actually, I'm Lego.
Shut up. No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, actually...
You can't tell me who I am.
I can, because you exclusively revealed you were Dan Dervis on last episode. So Dan...
Dan Dervis.
Dan Dervis, step out from behind the mask of Manimal. Pretending your name's Barry Goldman. Step out. Embrace your true identity. You've revealed your real name on the internet. It's okay.
Dan Don Dervis, everyone.
Dan Don Dervis is here to stay. But yeah, my name is Simon, better known as Vacant. That is, of course, the musical sensation that titillates the nation with all of his segregation. It's Manimal. Maybe not the last part, but, you know.
Wait, am I, like, stopping segregation, or am I just, like, making it happen again?
You're apathetic to it. If it happens, it happens.
Okay. Can we make it so we segregate popsicle colors so I can get a box of only orange popsicles?
Yeah. I
guess. I talked about it before, but I don't want purple popsicles anymore. I only want orange popsicles. Or green ones. Or blue ones. Not frickin' pink and purple. They're lame flavors.
Okay. Maybe not them, then.
Why don't they just make freaking grapefruit popsicles? That'd be, like, my ideal in life.
I'm sure they do. Somewhere has to have grapefruit popsicles. But
one of these days.
That leads us on nicely, I guess, to
Does it?
This week? Because we're going to have to ask, how was your week? We're getting into May. It is currently the 15th. We are halfway through fucking May as we speak. That's insane.
Oh, my God. Yes, we are.
Gearing up for summer.
Are you kidding me?
What?
We're 2 weeks into this month. School's been done for 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I'm having a crisis.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that on to you, Dan.
Dan Don Dervis.
Dan Don Dervis.
Oh, that is too weird to think. I mean, I've been productive enough. I made an album, Magnus Bridge, and then I followed it up with an EP, secondhand style of really bad songs. But
Does it have any bangers like the Bop Bop on there?
freaking Bop Bop. I can't. Oh my Jesus Christ! It does not have anything like the Bop Bop. Unfortunately, it does have a surfing song.
I've heard people have enjoyed the Bop Bop.
Yeah, some people do, I guess, because it's. Jesus. See, that's what happens. That's what happens if any freaking medium ever. You can put so much work into one thing, and then it will just end up as just like freaking bloated and just like not good at all. But meanwhile, the stuff you put the least amount of thought into somehow ends up being the best because you're struck by that creative blast of lightning all of a sudden. Where if you spend like forever trying to craft this one thing, it'll just be like freaking garbage in the end.
Yeah.
It'll be like, wow, I spent freaking 10 days on the song. It's like, hey, the Bop Bop is better. Well, to me, I haven't spent 10 days on a song ever. You think I put that much effort, but still, that's how anything goes, really.
Yeah.
But no, as for my week, it was the same as always. Got a little bit of that cold. You could probably tell by my voice, maybe, or maybe I just sound like this all the time. I don't know. I'm not sure. That is all I have to say. What about you? Oh.
Not too much on my end, unfortunately. Again, another busy week with work. Also, as well, my girlfriend is going on.
Persona 5.
Well, yeah, Persona 5, not so much. I've not had much time.
Not so much.
Yeah, I've not had too much time to, unfortunately, play it and grind the final dungeon. Because my girlfriend's headed off. She's gone away on holiday. So naturally, I have to help out with everything and getting stuff and running errands with her before she departs. But she's left us all alone here in cold old England.
Cold old England.
Cold old England is where I am for the moment, all alone. But that means I've got time now, finally, to do Persona 5 and to catch up on a lot of anime because I have.
So, are you basically just gonna be lying on the freaking couch with the freaking Kraken bottle between your legs and your freaking crisps just all along?
That is the plan. That's the dream.
In a trance.
That is the dream. I know there's weird stages in your life where that's what you want to avoid doing when you're like really young. When you're in your teenage years, that's what you end up doing, but that's not what you want to do. That's like, I need to be naked.
I know I felt bad for playing games until 2 o'clock. Only 2 o'clock.
It's like, I need to get up. I need to make something of my life. But then after a certain point, you regress back to fuck, I wish I could just have a day where I could sit in my boxes and just play video games and just not even open the curtains for a day.
See, I couldn't do that to myself. There's no, I would just feel too bad about it if I ever tried to do stuff like that.
Oh, it'd be amazing. If only.
I feel like my self-confidence and everything just would deflate. My self-worth, I mean.
I was going to say, why is your self-confidence going down?
I meant self-worth.
Although,
I just feel like, oh my god, I'm a piece of shit.
It's been okay. Hopefully one day we'll have one of those days where one of my plans is in probably Tuesday or Wednesday time. I'll edit the podcast and get it up for Wednesday, and then I'll spend the rest of the day just binging on anime and try and catch up with the spring season because boy, I'm behind.
Has anyone ever binged on a bench before?
Binged on a bench? Probably. I mean, you see people sitting on benches with tablets and whatnot. They could be watching stuff, feasibly.
Honestly, anytime I hear someone say binge, the first thing that comes into my mind is freaking a bench.
Why?
That just has the episodes on it, and you tilt the bench, and they just drop.
What?
That is honestly the first thing that comes to my mind.
What is it? What's happened when you first heard the word binge that made you think of a bench?
I thought they were talking about like bench because it's like maybe
I'm going on a bench. I'm going on a bench.
You put episodes on a bench and they just like drop slowly.
I don't understand what you mean. Putting the episodes on there, like they're not a physical thing.
But like in this case, they would be.
Okay, now I guess.
Don't question my logic.
I always just think of like the first time I heard binge is like when people like binge eat or binge drink. So binge drink's a big thing, probably a more prevalent thing in England. That terminology, but yeah, I'm hopefully not going to binge drink or binge eat, but I'm going to binge.
Oh, that's
anime.
what happens when I have 2 glasses of cranberry juice in a day.
I'm going to binge weeb. But yeah, other than that, nothing really interesting other than one thing that happened at work on Friday that's been I'm going to call it #dishwasher drama. This is
dishwasher drama.
Dishwasher drama at work.
Oh
We have a row of dishwashers in the office. That's fine. Friday night, a pipe exploded somewhere in the back of one of them, poured into like an outlet that just happens to be right next to it, and then tripped all the electricity. It's amazing how like that's just, a pipe's broken, trip the electric, isolate it, done. But the panic that surrounds that, like any little, like it's not a big deal, is it? That really?
It's just a pipe, yeah.
It's a pipe's broken in the office. Yes, the initial, what the fuck's going on? Like, because suddenly most of the lights and most of the electronics have stopped working. You're like,
maybe that is kind of worth panicking.
But then they identified very quickly, what the fuck is flooding? Oh, let's see what this is. It's gone in the outlet. Okay.
Wait, why would you panic? Wouldn't you be like, hell yeah, I get to go home?
Well, no, I wasn't panicking. I literally stepped out of the studio because I was doing stuff, stepped out, boom, lights off, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But it's amazing. That's not a big thing. But then, like, people are just running around. Not like management are like, I don't know what to do. Should we call this person? It's like, just call a plumber or something. Like, just chill. It's amazing how worked up people get over things that aren't really that big a deal. Because do you know what we did in 10 minutes? We stopped it leaking.
Got some tape.
Yeah, we isolated the electrics in the kitchen, so everywhere else was fine. All the lights were back on and everything. It was just literally like, the fridges and microwave and shit like that.
Yeah.
The pipe, we cleaned it all up, and we made sure no one else touched the sinks or anything, so no more water came out of it. Fine. Why the fuck do people panic? Oh, no, it was really funny because...
I mean, if you're walking down the street and all of a sudden the pipe broke in your face, wouldn't you be all like, hey?
It didn't break in someone's face. Oh, no, it actually...
I don't know.
What was really funny was one of the girls was standing there. She really didn't want to get involved because that's dirty water. So they taped the pipe up and they turned it back on to see how it would work. And
oh no!
Poured the sink. The tape just went, like, just not exploded, but like, boom, didn't hold it, and it just sprayed dirty sink water all up her. She wasn't impressed. It was quite funny.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, that sounds exciting, I think if you have your office grind, don't you want like something dynamic to happen in your day?
Yeah, man. And we've all, we've had loads of downtime this weekend because of the...
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how it correlates, but it's the cyber attacks on the NHS. I don't know if you've heard about that in England.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty fucked. I know this is happy hour. We want to keep things positive, but a thing that happened on Friday is, I believe it's called ransomware or something, but basically someone took down the National Health Services, a lot of the hospitals and stuff, like their systems, and demanded a ransom before they put them back on, which is endangering so many people. Like, people who need urgent care and stuff. Like, it wasn't, like all different bits. You're endangering sick people, like of all ages, of all ethnicity and gender. That's low. That's a shit thing to do. Like, you're a piece of shit if you're doing that. But for some reason that meant that we had, like, there's a mandatory update that had to go around all our systems. So you had to update every single PC, which took hours, and update servers. And I'm not sure how it correlates. I don't know what it was, but whatever. It's time out of work.
Huh. That's fun.
That was fun. We had time out of work. I got to watch Eurovision and wear a cowboy hat. And then get told that I look Mexican.
Look more like a Mexican hat.
It was a black cowboy hat.
Yeah, but it didn't have like a big enough top, though. If you wear a cowboy hat, the top should at least correlate with your head size, I think.
Sorry. Well, we didn't have that many.
It's alright.
hats.
I'm just giving you some good critique so you can, like, get the hat on
I did
point.
have a little poncho as well. I guess I was really Mexican. Little bandito.
See, bandito versus cowboy nair. It's a natural enemy.
Bandito. Hey, cowboy nair, I come for you.
I had a dream last night where they opened, like, a Mexican pizza place.
Okay.
That was it.
Oh,
there
sorry.
was a Mexican pizza place.
Yeah.
I also had this weird thing where I woke up at 3 o'clock and then I got ready and then I looked at the clock and it was 3 o'clock and I was like, What the shit? So I just went back to bed.
I've had a Mexican pizza. It's in Manchester. There's like a sort of Mexican themed pizza place.
Oh, that's a real thing?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but it's their signature pizza has like, it's a normal cheese and tomato based pizza, but then you have crushed nachos, sour cream, guacamole on it as well, and then jalapenos. I'm not down with that.
No,
Crushed
but in
nachos,
my dream it was like a drive-through place. Oh my god, I can't speak. It was like a drive-through place where you get your Mexican pizza.
Oh yeah, this wasn't no drive-through. You got to sit down.
Oh.
That's gonna bug me now. I'm not sure what it was.
Drive-through, not drive-in. Jesus.
Drive in, just fucking drive in through the window.
Drive-in is a little bit different than a drive-through.
I did a drive-in. I've done a drive-in at McDonald's before when we were drunk. Just come through the window. Double cheeseburger and fries, motherfucker.
I thought you actually crashed into a building.
Yeah, that's what
That
you do.
happens.
You go through the glass. Go through the glass, because then you're okay.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, moving on, because I think we said all we need to say. We're going to recap spring season from what we've watched in a few seconds, but very quickly.
Okay. I can do that right now really quick.
We could go through I want to highlight a dumb news story that I found was, do you know normally what happens is if I see a piece of merchandise, I'll go, do you know what? It's not my cup of tea, but sure. If that makes you happy, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I've come across one that I thought, is anyone really ever
Link it.
going to purchase this? Okay. I'm going to link it to you now, and I'm going to also explain it for the benefit of our viewers as well. So,
Hello, viewers. Hi.
here's the headline.
How are you today?
Here's the
Or
head.
tonight?
Here's
Or
the
this.
Here, shut the fuck up. You and Lego. I don't know how we get through episodes.
I was just
guys.
trying to the viewers.
You're not allowed to talk to the viewers. Talk to me only. Don't talk to the viewers.
Oh, this is amazing.
Okay. Oh no, you don't actually like it, do you? Okay, here's the headline. Relax or explode with Sword Art Online, Asuna, and Konosuba Megumi hidden otaku neckties. So do you know what this is? Literally a tie for formal wear, for smart wear, but on the underside of your tie, the little end bit, there's a picture of your favorite anime character.
Okay, real talk, I would wear a K-On tie like this.
With the little picture on the back? Come on.
Yeah, that's the point. It's hidden.
I'd be, like, anyone in a smart occasion, like, if you need, I don't know, like, if you...
This is ridiculous. That's why I'd want one.
If you were...
ridiculous. That's why I ordered those Love Live socks, which are coming out at the end of the month. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
What's even weirder about it is the Asuna one. I don't know if it's the same for the Konosuba one, but the Sword Art Online one, you can, like, pull back the underside of the tie a little bit and it reveals some cleavage.
If you're at, like, a formal business meeting and you're just like, oh, this is tough, I'm just all alone at the table, you just, like, pick up your tie and be like, what are you looking at? You're like, oh, there's a stain on my tie.
Like, so you get some inspiration from your waifu, so I'm there, business meeting, I've got to close this deal. Like, because this is made in Japan, obviously, so it's for Japanese businessmen.
It's like,
so,
why are you putting your tie in your mouth? My mouth's dirty.
It's like, oh, I need to get this business deal done. I'm going to be
See,
out
this
of the
makes
job
sense
if I
when you
don't.
think about it, right?
And then he looks, and then he's like, I need to do this. It's too hard. And then he turns the tie around and just looks at the Asuna staring lovingly back, saying with a speech bubble, relax. And he's like,
Doesn't that make sense? It's supposed to be encouraging to you.
it's very weird. A tie with a picture of an anime character on the underneath.
This is the kind of thing that, like, you might think in your mind, but you might never say out loud.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
I wish I'd have a tie. I just don't like... Also, the other thing is relax or explode. Like, do they mean explode as in what I'm thinking they mean?
They mean explode like if you're going to your business meeting and you gotta, like, frickin' just, like, do this amazing presentation.
Maybe this is what, like, a relatable teacher or boss would wear. It's like, hey, guys, you don't have to take me too seriously. I got a Konosuba tie.
the most annoying teacher of all time.
Hey, I'm cool, guys. Look, I got my Naruto
You just be,
headband.
you'd be a substitute. You'd be the substitute that nobody does. I mean, nobody does the work ever when there's a substitute, but especially when it's this guy.
Yeah. Although every school had that one really cool substitute teacher, which was like the favorite of everyone. He was a maverick. He wasn't meant to belong.
One time there was a substitute teacher, and we had a conversation about obscure Kiss songs, and that was amazing. I still get offended that the only time I ever talk to anyone about Kiss, it's freaking middle-aged guys who are twice my age. It's like, oh, is there anyone my age? Like, oh my god.
We can talk about Kiss. I like Crazy Nights. That's a good song.
What, you know Crazy Nights?
It's
kind of a hit.
Crazy nights. Yeah, I know that song.
That was kind of a hit in the UK, actually.
Fucking banger, that is.
Yeah, man.
I used to play
I didn't know that people knew that song.
I only know it, I'll be honest, I only know it because it used to be played on one of the rides at the theme park that I used to work at, so I knew that song very well.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. What ride was it?
It was Rita, Queen of Speed. It was very much a sort of fast car themed sort of thing, so it was like...
Did they have a playlist, or did they just
Yeah, it had a playlist. It wasn't just for Kiss,
okay.
but Kiss is the only one that I remember from it.
That's awesome, actually.
It was sort of like supposed to be that kind of rally car, race car sort of feel. So it had
Did you know that they weren't wearing makeup when they made that song?
Really?
See, this is a thing that people don't know nowadays, that they had the non-makeup era. I find it surprises some people, actually.
Ain't got no makeup?
Yeah.
Ain't got no makeup?
I ain't got no makeup.
Ain't got no...
This is the random thing. But yeah, these ties, I think this really amuses me, actually.
Crazy Pedro's! Sorry, I've just found the pizza place. It's called Crazy Pedro's, the Mexican
Of course
it
place. Is.
I knew it was something like that. I just couldn't think of what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, those ties, a little too
honestly, if I needed to wear a tie and there was like a freaking Canon tie or a Mio tie, I would absolutely wear it.
Would you have the one that has them in the underwear, the slightly raunchy version, or just a normal
No. Got to keep it clean.
This is what I was saying. It's them ones are a little raunch. They've got the people in the cleavage, like
like that.
If you want to fap.
Because if someone sees it, like you can at least be like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah. Hey, I noticed you got some titties on your tie. Man, these long office hours.
The only tie I have is the Kiss tie, actually.
I have more ties than... I think you can measure how old someone is and how many ties they own. I own...
It depends on what kind of job you have, I guess. Like, someone like you would require a tie a lot more than someone like me.
I hate a tie now. I hate ties. Like,
yeah?
I am not a top button doer because I hate anything around my neck, so...
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. It's too, like...
I feel like I'm physically choking. I hate that shit. That shit is the worst.
It is. It really is, actually.
Yeah. That's the only
zero, and tucking shirts in, 0 out of 10.
Oh, I hate tucking shirts in. I forever got in trouble at school for that shit, because they were always like, tuck shirt in.
Oh, you had to
an
tuck your
impression.
shirts.
Well, they always said it, but once you hit the teenage years, you're like, I was so...
I'm not listening to you!
No, I used to literally stop and go, if you can give me one good reason to tuck my shirt in other than you want me to, then I'll do it. I'll say, is it a health and safety thing? Is it a, all that? I'm like, I'm like, give me the logic. Where's the logic? And such a little dick. Like, do you know when you can imagine, now as an adult, if like a 13-year-old was talking to me like that, I'd just punch them in the face.
Oh, that's exactly how high school kids act.
Where's the logic? Give me a logical reason for tucking my shirt in, and I'll do it. That's
exactly how high school kids act.
Cringe at myself at these memories. But thankfully, I was just pre-social media era. I think I just missed that, so there isn't a lot of embarrassing moments captured for all time on Facebook or anything.
Bam.
So I'm happy about that. Do you know what else I'm happy about? I managed to watch some anime this week.
Did you?
I caught up with Love Tyrants, which is still good. Episode 5 and 4 were a bit strange. Like the sort of he gets kidnapped.
Oh.
Have you seen them? Are you up to date with Love Tyrant? Sorry.
No, I tried to watch episode 3, but I'm not feeling it anymore. I don't know. There's a certain, I mean, I know it's a comedy, but there's still a certain tone about it I don't like. I really don't like the OP of this show. I think it's a really bad song.
I skip it. I've not watched it in full.
It's a really bad. I mean, I like Wake Up Girls usually have like interesting melodies and they have their own style, but I don't like that style.
I'm not a fan of the OP, I'll be honest.
No, it's really bad, but I don't know. I just can't get into it. Can't get back into
fair
it.
Enough, fair enough. It took not a serious tone, but there's sort of a little bit of a undertones of a slightly more serious nature when he gets spoilers for Love Tyrant, I guess, going forward. Do you mind? Do you care?
I don't care.
Okay, spoilers for Love Tyrant. The cousin of the two sisters, the Yandere and Yori girl, their cousin is like a real bitch. Like, she loves destroying things. Like, she's not Yandere. What's the word for them? The ones who they love hurting others? I forgot the name for them. Some kind of Dara. Dickhead.
I don't know.
Dick Dara? She's a
Dickhead Dara. This sounds perfect.
She's Dickhead Dara. Yeah, she basically loves tormenting her sisters. She finds out, obviously.
That's the pink-haired girl.
Yeah, that's her. She
okay.
finds out that they're in a relationship with him, so obviously she decides to kidnap him because she can make webs. She ties him down and then is obviously like stabbing him and stuff because she knows he doesn't die.
Oh, so we're getting into that kind of stuff. Well, you got to appeal to all kinds of people, so it's all right.
Got to hit all bases, and it's like, and then obviously
all bases of shows like this.
They come to rescue him. And then she gets called away, but I think she calls her, one of the Yandere girl, a weapon child or weapon daughter or something. And obviously, like, she's skilled with knives. This one can create webs out of nowhere. And then the Yori girl, she can create like a special shield. So I'm assuming there's some kind of backstory where they're like superheroes or mutants or something with special powers. I don't know. We'll see. It's still quite funny.
Yeah.
There was like a funny little bit of where he actually died when he got stabbed. Like, he actually died because...
Oh, straight up.
Because God wanted to meet him. Because Guri, the angel, she's God's daughter. So he wanted to meet who she was in a relationship with. And he's like quite funny. He's like, that layabout, lazy kind of guy. And then Lucifer comes and it's quite amusing. Yeah, it's still worth watching, I'd say, but it's not. I think the first 2 episodes really caught me off guard. It wasn't what I was expecting. It was a lot more fun than I was expecting, but it's sort of leveled out now. So we'll see.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, normally they have a strong start, and then you realise that's 12 hours of programming, and once everything sort of settles into a rhythm, you're like, it's going. But it's a steady pace. The other thing that I watched was Attack on Titan. Should I leave that till last if we want to both talk about it, or should we jump into it?
I'm still in episode 5. I didn't catch up to the last 2 yet.
Okay, what was the... all right, again?
Episode 5 was the one that started with the flashback.
Okay. Oh, yeah, with Krista.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Attack on Titan. Going forward, guys, skip to 37 minutes and 9 seconds to avoid the spoilers.
Will Vacant fill it in? Find out.
Hopefully I will, if I remember. But yeah, okay, so I have gotten to... Shall we go full spoiler mode? Do you want me to go full spoiler mode, or should I not?
Whatever.
Okay.
You've already told me everything anyway.
I'm pretty certain we did on a show.
Yeah, you literally did.
Yeah, we've gotten to the part where the Armored Titan and Colossal Titan are revealed and who they are. How they did it was beat by beat, the same as the manga. Literally, I think 99% of the dialogue is word for word, pretty much from the manga. It was good. The reveal's weird. It's strange because you'd expect it to be a big dramatic reveal or a sudden like bait and switch. Like you'd expect it just to happen out of nowhere, sort of like Wymia's Beast Titan reveal was. Like she just sort of did it and then it came about. Whereas these guys, it's literally, they say to Eren, they go, "Oh, can I have a word with you?" "Yeah, I'm the Armored Titan and he's the Colossal Titan. That's literally how they reveal it, and it's like, oh, yeah, so basically we wanted to kill everyone, but if you just come with us, then, we won't.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
And then it flashes back before they do anything, and it's like, oh. So it's a strange thing. Like, I like how they did it, because then it sort of gives you that grounds for suspicion, and, oh, okay, so everyone knows. Because it gives you this flashback that fills in a bit more info, but it's sort of weird, the pacing of it. Not in a bad way. It's just unusual that you don't normally see these kind of reveals done that way, because it's just kind of casual. And then it builds, like, how they frame shots, and they keep cutting back because they're on top of the wall. It gets darker. The sky darkens as it's about to rain, and it keeps showing, like, their reflections. So how do you...
it only rains when something dramatic is going to happen.
Exactly. So, like, thematically and visually, it's showing their reflection, and then the ripples when their facade has dropped and been shattered, and all this. So it sort of keeps focusing on different shots, and it's trying to build that that tension as well as the music kicking in. But it's done well. It's done differently than you'd expect, I guess.
I didn't think they'd do it so early into this season, but...
Oh, they have to. They've only got 12 episodes.
Well, I didn't know that's how the plot progressed, but yeah.
Yeah, it's been done.
I don't know, I gotta get back to that one. I probably will.
It's enjoyable, and it's a cool little moment, and there's a cool little battle that goes on. What I'm confused at is where they're going to choose to end the show. Because the next logical thing I can think of, they're going to have to fit a lot into the next 6 episodes to get to where I think they're going to end it.
Break up the pacing, and it'll be all good.
We'll see. We'll see how they go. But yeah, still enjoyable, still very high quality, still, in terms of animation and production, music's on point. So still one of the big ones of this season. I know that's not, oh, prediction, go out on a limb.
Are you telling me that it's a show that people are watching?
I believe that this could be one of the most popular shows to ever come out of the spring season of 2017.
It might be the next smash hit, like season 1.
I feel like this is going to be quite a big star with the anime audience. That's all I've been watching.
The middle schoolers.
I'm going to say again, Corin, I'm very sorry. I've still not watched Recreators.
Corin did invent that series after all, so you better get onto it.
I best get on it. Oh. I did skim through the latest episode of eromanga-sensei.
I'm not back to that show.
When did you tap out?
Episode 3.
Okay. I skimmed through the latest episode. The girl who said she likes dicks
actually doesn't.
She was, well, I'm not sure, because like I say, I was skimming through to just sort of see where it ended up, because I was like, where is it going somewhere? Has it gone somewhere? She basically is been convinced to be a model for the sister, eromanga-sensei. She's been convinced.
I wonder what's going to happen in that situation.
But she's only allowed in if she's wearing a blindfold and tied up. So the boy ties her up and then sends her in, and then she spends the time...
We're getting on those themes again.
Yeah. Eromanga-sensei, the little sister, is drawing feverishly, and she's like, proper all over her. All the while she's like, oh, these lewd gazes on my butt and on my boobs.
Oh, so they're doing that kind of story now.
Yeah, and then I turned the rest off because I couldn't be asked to watch it. But I just wanted to see where it was going, and it's...
Well, I can't say I expected those themes to enter the series, but that's interesting.
That's freaking... I don't think it's...
Arrow product sensei.
That's just, what I expected from that kind of thing, to be honest. But whatever.
You got to get every theme possible in there.
Of course you have. Yeah, man.
I mean, naturally, yeah. But, oh, jeez. Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot. Latest episode of Sakura Quest is good because that show's good. It's going to have 25 episodes. I didn't realize that. I was like, holy shit. Are you serious? Yeah, so it'll be a good show to watch through summer as well, but I totally didn't expect that because shows like that never get more than 12 episodes, but little did I know. Also, the freaking bastard teacher on the records, episode 6 was okay. It's an okay show. Those are pretty much the two that I'm keeping up with, and Attack on Titan 2 when I get back to that. Like, everything else, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever about.
Yeah.
Like, again, Clockwork Planet was like, it looks like it's from 2007. And then I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch anymore, though.
Yeah.
And then, the Magical Girl one, Twin Angel, was like boring as shit. And I don't know.
Did you ever check out that Fuku Menki Noise or whatever it was called?
I was going to, but then I don't know. I started episode 1 and I was like, I'm not feeling this at all.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously when I see the words music and shoujo, I'm immediately like, Nana. But that's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
You know.
I need to catch up with Boruto as well. Actually, I'm still
freaking Boruto.
watching some Boruto. I need my
That's
show
all right.
fix.
Once it gets to episode 100, you can just you can bench watch it.
I'll bench watch that bad boy. Yeah. Spring season, I guess we're coming up to the halfway point pretty much for a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Not as great as I was expecting.
No, not at all. Definitely not as good as last season.
Yeah. I will say, I'll hold my hands up.
Last year.
Yeah, I know what you meant, last spring. I will hold my hands up and say that I have not watched as much, and I'm as I've just demonstrated, I'm not as up to date. But a lot of things from what I've heard, reviews that I've read for certain shows, doesn't seem to be many hits, unfortunately. I had a lot of high hopes for this season, but we'll see. I'm gonna catch up to.
You know what's coming up next?
What's coming up next?
Well, I don't know if Full Metal Panic 4 is going to come out this year now. It might get delayed, but we still got Love Live Sunshine 2, new game too.
Yeah,
so that's all right.
Yeah.
If me. And also, this isn't nearly as lewd as I thought it was, this eromanga-sensei thing.
Oh, the tie-up. No, it's nothing really thingy. I like it. I had to go see it.
This show is so stupid. This is so stupid.
It's just nothing. But whatever.
Oh my god, it's like they're like, guys, gotta make some money.
Gotta make money. Yeah.
I mean, when the story Nair told about like the sister thing was like really, that gave a lot of perspective into the author's mind.
Yeah, that was really funny actually.
Yeah, but it just makes me laugh, though.
The author
I'm not
behind
even,
this light
mad
novel
or anything. It just makes me laugh.
The author behind this novel does not talk to his family. Also, as well, I'm shame on you when you were looking forward to things coming up that you didn't mention TQ9.
I forgot about TQ9. Oh my god. Yeah. I freaking TQ9. The freaking getting up the TQ ladder, and they're doing the second season of that one spin-off that I don't remember the name. But it was good. Freaking TQ. Like, I mean, it makes. How often do you see a series that has a 9 next to it?
Not too often.
I mean, after it got to TQ4, like, okay, even TQ4 sounds ridiculous, but everything after that just got even sillier, and now we have TQ9. Again, if we don't get TQ12, then the world is too cruel.
We might do. Don't jinx it, but we might.
I remember the first time I found out about TQ. It was a summer day in 2013. I went to Tim's. I got a medium ice cap and a frosted cinnamon roll. I came home to watch the new episode of Watamote, and then I saw TQ2 down below. Little did I know.
Little did you know that down below was TQ, and it was waiting.
Little did I know what it was.
I didn't know what it was. Could you say TQ is a slice of life?
TQ is a slice of insane life, but life regardless.
Hey, isn't all life insane?
Yes.
Yeah. Good segue. We are going to be talking about... Well, actually, let's wind the clock back a year. We were saying...
Hello, this is 2016. Bernie Sanders is going to win.
Hello, this is 2016. I'm proud to be part of the EU. Donald who? I don't know. Some loser who won't win the election. Fuck knows.
Oh yeah, that didn't even happen by then. The breakfast.
The breakfast. The breakfast
It
with
didn't
your
happen. We did the last live cast.
didn't last that breakfast. That breakfast ended. But yeah, if you wind the clock back, this time last year, we released the Slice of Life cast, episode 38, which was me and you, Manimal, as well. And we spoke about some Slice of Life anime. We basically shit-talked the shows we like and just picked like a top 5 or a top 10. I can't remember what the fuck we did. We did something
we just did whatever we felt like doing.
We just spitballed some shows. So we're going to touch on some Slice of Life because it's getting to summer, and for me, Slice of Life is very summery to me. Feels like a summery anime.
Time is right for racing in the street.
And beach episodes.
And racing to those TV screens to watch what you could be doing this summer but won't because you're a freaking recluse loser and you'd rather just watch it on screen and wish your life was like that, but it's not because you just stay inside.
Yeah. We aren't going to be just running down a list of, here's a Slice of Life we liked.
The
like,
top 10 recommendations of shows I have legitimately never watched.
We did that last year. So we're going to do something a little different. But first, before we get into it, shall we have the game or shall we save the game till last?
We can do that last.
We'll save our game till last. Okay. So we're going to
That
talk
reminds
about...
you, I had a random anecdote, but it has nothing to do with this, so maybe I won't mention it.
No, put it in.
Okay, well this is related to a life, but like I said before, I don't watch anime YouTubers, but I watch Digibro's vlog channel.
Okay.
And for the past year, like, this guy really puts a lot about his life on this channel, right? And I've seen him freaking shave his beard, enter a vegetative state while marathoning Non-Biori in a day, freaking go to conventions, release a really interesting rap album, and in general just hang out in his room all the time. And today he made a video where he just totally like emptied his room out because he's going on the road now. And I felt like sad, like legitimately sad when I saw his empty room, you know? He had like all this like shit around, like posters and everything. And it's like, since I've seen so many videos, I almost feel like I know him in a weird way, which is weird because he doesn't know me. But just from watching all his videos and hearing him talk about himself, it's like I even knew how his stuff was arranged. So then to see nothing in there is like, no, don't leave. You know, there's a weird investment level there with vlog channels like that, I guess.
Well,
that
yeah,
I didn't even realize was there. But because you are seeing someone's life in a weird way.
I was going to say you
feel like you know this person even though you don't. You know? I didn't even know what his name was until I looked on his Bandcamp last week, you know?
He has a Bandcamp?
Yeah, he does rap. It's interesting rap.
I'm sure it is.
He has a new song called Fat and Dangerous, which the title amuses me. I can't say the same for the song, but you know.
Yeah.
His lyrics are good though.
He's fine. Did you, bro?
He's an interesting figure. His vlog channel is, again, I like his vlog channel a lot. But yeah, there's a weird investment there.
I've never checked his vlog channel out at all. I've seen a few of his videos. He's a good reviewer.
I think his vlog channel is a lot better than his normal channel, I think.
Depends what you're looking for, isn't it? If you like, because I don't like watching vloggers.
I don't either, but I guess it's because I liked his other videos.
Yeah, well, that's
true. So if he
true.
was just some random guy, then I probably wouldn't watch his vlogs, you know?
Yeah.
But that was a random note that had nothing to do with anything.
Okay. Sound. Okay.
Let's talk about things. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. What are we moving on to?
I do know. You've thrown me off completely now.
I know, it's what I do.
And I'm mentally making notes because I'm trying to compare you and Lego in terms of cut-off masters. I think you're edging Lego.
I wanted to mention that before it's too late. I forgot about it.
You're edging Lego and, like, cutting off people, I think.
I know. Okay, you're talking about Slice of Life. You're talking about we're not just going to do recommendations.
I don't know where the fuck we are. And fuck it. Let's kick the doors in. Let's talk about some slice of life. Okay, Manimal. I'm going to pose this question to you.
Yeah.
If I was a stranger on the street, maybe not a stranger on the street, who don't fucking know. I'm somebody, and I go, what the fuck is slice of life to you? What is it? What slice of life anime?
Why are you talking to me on the street? I don't know you. And after explaining this, I would say it is the best genre of the medium.
Why should I watch it?
It's hard to describe, but with slice of life shows, they're fun to watch because it's a progression. Like I was saying with Digi's vlog channel, you're watching the progression of, okay, in this case, fictional characters, but regardless, I like watching stuff like that because it's usually light, you know. I don't like that a lot of TV shows and stuff like that always crime and death and who got murdered this week and shit happening, you know?
Yeah, it's not
Where
too
slice
heavy.
of life is usually just nice stuff about just mundane things that are somehow turned exciting in ways. But it just has simpler themes, and these shows do have narratives and themes. They're not just plotless. Well, I mean, some of them are, but like, there's a lot of stuff that does have something to it that's a lot more subtle than other series, I think, in terms of development and everything like that. But it's just about getting invested in that world for a little while, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's grounded, and it's stuff that you can be like, hey, that's like real life.
Yeah, no,
You know?
definitely. It's I like to sort of because it's a subgenre, and normally you don't just get a slice of life. It's normally slice of life, comedy, slice of life, shoujo, slice, and so on and so on. But I like it, and I sort of describe it as a palate cleanser. A good slice of life is a palate cleanser. So especially when you're doing these seasons and you're watching multiple shows at the same time.
Well, in that case, yeah.
It's the ones where, like you say, it's not too heavy.
There's nothing like waking up at 5 o'clock every day, get a bowl of cereal, watch Flying Witch. That was amazing last year.
That sounds good. Yeah, I actually agree with you because I got into a habit of watching shows before I'd head to work. Like during breakfast, you'd watch an episode, and then you'd head to work, and then you'd do it, daily. And it wasn't something that you go, holy shit, I need to get home. I need to watch fucking 6 episodes at once. It's just a nice little thing.
And well, I mean, like some shows are still like actually boring, but there's certain series that have kind of tone to them, which not everyone would like necessarily. But stuff like Flying Witch and a Manchu, for recent examples, have just like you just freaking melt into those worlds. That freaking pool scene.
So it's the immersion.
I guess, but like I said, like I was inspired by Digi, so I marathoned Non Biori in one night, almost all of it. And again, it puts you into this weird state after a while of watching these stupid countryside adventures of characters that aren't even funny. There's no good jokes in the show, but it's just about how like the setting is. It's like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I hate the word immersion for some reason. That word really pisses me off.
So it immerses you. Like,
I really hate that description.
No.
It was an immersive experience, and
it was pretty dynamic and immersive to me.
I like dynamic is a cool word. Don't even diss it. But dynamic is freaking cool. Immersive just bothers me.
Okay, we'll retire the word emissive. Emissive? We will omit the word.
We can
immersive.
tire the word emissive.
We're gonna retire both of them. Immersion and immersed have been retired from the show. You won't hear them again on the happy hour.
So I got really immersed in the world of this show.
You said it.
Yeah.
No.
But okay.
I get what you mean.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, again, I've said before, I think the best slice of life is K-On!, of course. Mm-hmm. But there's something about K-On! That I really realized the second time I watched it, that it is this investment in the characters. And like I said, the characters in K-On! Are fleshed out super well. I talk about this all the time, but this is like the super episode where I can talk about it all at once now. It's like the characters are all initially based off tropes. Like they're recognizable as trope-like characters. Obviously, Mio, Shy, Ritsu, Boyish, whatever, all that shit. But there's a lot more to them, and there is a development with them. If you think of like Mio in the music videos and when she sings and everything, it's a development of her character that you don't get because a lot of shows just have the base traits, and that defines the whole character. Like the Shy character be like, I'm scared of everyone.
Yeah.
Where Mio is a realistic depiction of that. I just think of the fan club episode where she does that really awkward and pained smile in the picture. And there's all these moments like that. Like I said, that episode where Mugi wants to get slapped in the face was probably one of the best ones because, as weird as that sounds, it's because, you know, when everyone's closer, hitting each other, slapping each other, whatever, just doing all those things that you do with like really close friends.
Yeah.
But no one does it to Mugi because she's kind of like almost the outsider the whole time who doesn't have that kind of friend. So she does the whole episode where she just wants to get slapped in the face. That was genius, you know?
Yeah.
But again, K-On! Has those character details, and of course it has a wonderful art style. Again, a grounded art style, which is what I like the most, where the characters just look great. They're not just like popsicle hair-colored, mutant, bug-eyed freaks, you know? It just has that nice setting and everything to it.
It does. It does. It has the quintessential slice of life look.
Yeah. And like I said, what you see in both K-On! And Love Live, if you compare the two, they're both music series, but they have completely different takes on music.
Yeah.
Because Love Live is like, it's contained in the world of Love Live, where frickin' Honk can scream and make the clouds disperse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, music is the primary, like music and comedy are for me, the primary sort of genres. And then the slice of life aspect, sort of secondary on Love Live, where it's the other way.
There's not a lot in Love Live where you're like, oh, that's just like real life, because it's a lot of silly stuff. Even in Sunshine, with all the melodrama, and the last episode where they do like the freaking Charlie Brown Linus reciting the Christmas thing, it's really kind of silly because it exists in a world where only the story exists, which is, I don't like when series do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to see, like Idolmaster, for instance, has the inner workings of the industry going on, which makes it more interesting to watch. It's not a better series because it has its own issues, but it has more of that element to it, which is what makes these shows better. The details. It's all about the details.
It's all about that
detail.
Know?
It's all about that detail. And I could talk forever about why K-On! Is the best, but it just is.
Yeah.
How about you talk for a while?
I'll talk for a while. Then, I said palate cleanser for like Slice of Life, as if like, oh, it's just something in between all your other heavier series. But I like a lot of action shows, and I like a lot of like drama and mystery and that kind of thing. But I like to go on the other end of the scale as well.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot of what you said. The reasons I like Slice of Life is because you can throw it on. It's nice and easy. You don't have to you become invested, but not like too emotionally invested. Do you know what I mean? Like too emotionally invested.
Well,
so
you haven't seen Clannad.
You're not yeah, no, I haven't. You're not fearing for someone's life. You're not.
You haven't seen Clannad.
I haven't seen Clannad. You know, I tend to like the comedy Slice of Lives as well. So like you're Bakken and Test. One of the first Slice of Lives, other than Haruhi, I think, was Bamboo Blade that I ever watched. And that was quite a departure from everything else that I'd ever watched, because there is no supernatural abilities in that one. Like with Haruhi, you've got, you know, all the sci-fi elements to it as well.
You have anime stuff in that series.
Exactly. Bamboo Blade has played, it's the typical hallmarks of a Slice of Life. It's in school, it's to do with a club, it's, you know, a group of people. Again, there's the identifiable tropes there. Pretty common, but it was such a change of pace. I like just a nice, easy story where you don't have to fear for people. Again, no, I haven't watched Clannad, but you don't have to feel for people's safety. You don't have to. You're not worrying about where the plot's going to go. You're not always analysing and overanalyzing things, going, okay, is this going to happen next? Is this going to happen next? Is this going to happen? Is the author going to do this? Is the author going to do this? Why did the author decide this is going to happen? And blah, blah, blah.
There are series like that are more like some of the more like romantic series or the more serious ones. Like something like frickin' Nana, for instance, that's probably the best drama I've ever seen in any anime. And I barely even classify it as a slice of life, even though it is.
I was going to...
It's a lot different because it doesn't have a school setting. It's of older characters, and they do more mature things. Like, I mean, I've seen very few anime where a character gets pregnant, for instance.
Yeah,
but you see it now,
to be honest. Yeah, because it's like good ending. I'd class it more as a romance, but it is sort of slice of lifey. Slice of lifey, like Sabagaboo, Sabagaboo,
Sabagity Badgity Boo. Where
more
is
comedy?
Season 2?
We can hope. Say I Love You, that's more of a shonen, I guess. Shoujo, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that you don't overanalyze it, so you can just accept what's happening. Little things can be interesting. You sort of, we're not going to say immerse. You can delve into the world, and you can be like, oh yeah, how are they going to rescue that cat from the tree? And all that, the little things that you just watch, you don't overanalyze it, you become interested in characters, and you get your favourites, and it's just, if I could sum it up in a word, to watch Slice of Life, it's just nice.
It is nice. That's really the best and simplest way to put it, I think. But, yeah, again, well, there are obviously a lot of, you could pretty much gauge the quality of a series by how it looks almost all the time,
There's a lot of good-looking Slice of Life out there now.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of well, again, like I said, a story like Love Live, which is centered only in the world of its characters.
Mm-hmm.
Those always have the similar kind of popsicle hairstyle, popsicle colored hair. I mean, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Just all generally
colors.
Freaking bug-eyed and everything. I don't really like series like that. I like stuff that, again, has the details. A good one I watched was Silver Spoon, which was a farm-based one. And, of course, that was more interesting because how often do you see stuff that's based on a farm? And it had the inner workings of this farm school. And I was like, oh. And they had a tragic story with the pig. Oh, my God. You say you don't worry about freaking character deaths, but you don't know about that pig. You don't know about the tail of the pig, okay?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Like, if you're on like an action thing or whatever, or a murder mystery, or a drama.
If you watch something like Kimi no Todoke, you will be getting frustrated, but not for reasons you expected. It's freaking Saoko. Oh my God, the most indecisive character of all time. But it's such a great show. But yeah, that's why I like those kind of series best, and the drama ones that have the good characters. One of the most recent ones I watched, I didn't talk about on the show, actually, was Paradise Kiss, which has one of the weirdest setups I've seen in the show, because the high school girl's walking down the street, and this punk comes up to her, and he's like, hey, be a model. She's like, no. And then she runs into someone else and faints and wakes up in this basement room and doesn't question why she's been brought down to a basement room.
Okay.
I was like, oh, but it was normal after that. But yeah, it's basically, it starts off like, you're like, this is terrible. It's about someone being influenced and turned the wrong way and down the wrong path. But it actually has a whole lot of other themes which are hard to describe. TheManimalLive.wordpress.com. Find my review on it.
Okay, we'll find that.
But that was a good show, though, because, again, it had the more realistic and serious depictions of things, which is what I like to see the most. You know?
So you like it more grounded in reality?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, like I said, even a series like K-On! Is grounded in reality. I think another thing is even the instrument choices are genius in that series, because it represents different sides. Obviously, Yui has the Les Paul, which is like the traditional 70s classic, played by like Ace Frehley and Jimmy Page. You associate it with that era, where the Mustang is obviously the 90s. That was Cobain's signature guitar. And it's this guitar that short people play, so that's why Azusa plays it.
Okay. I was going to say, this is kind of things that are going over my head, but it's
this is the kind of
detail.
stuff that interests me.
Yeah, it's the attention to detail for people, which is good.
Yeah, and you learn what's Ritsu's favorite band. Dahoo. It's those nice details that just make it something, or again, like I said, we're saying like Bang Dream is so flat. It's so one-track minded as a series,
Yeah. It's a
you can always
vehicle
tell
to sell stuff. Which is good, yeah. You appreciate all the little details, because that helps to build the world around you. It helps you to become invested in it and, sit back and just enjoy. But before we get onto our game, there was one question I was going to ask very quickly. Is there any advice you would give anyone who was planning to write a slice of life
Make it
story.
about something that you freaking know, number one. And even if it's the most boring thing, if you worked at Target, RIP Target Canada, then, you could still make it about stuff like that because stuff happens that maybe isn't exciting, but can translate into relatable experiences, which you can put into stories. And obviously, if you've never been to the frickin' farm or a countryside or anything like that, and you try to write about it, it's not going to be as good because you don't know the details of what happens in that life, So it's generally best to write about your own setting and what your own world contains.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Especially if you're coming from a grounded in reality. Write what you know, and you will have a far easier time explaining an event that's happened that you've been in.
Well, yeah, like how would you write about a university, for instance, if you've never been to one? You know?
You'd be relying on tropes and shit.
You wouldn't exactly know the difference between that and other things. You'd just be like, it's a school where people sit in a lecture hall, I guess.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know how, people feel, what the general feeling is in a room, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, write what you know. That's a good advice there.
It's as simple as that, really.
Fair enough. I guess I've got to throw one in as well.
I mean, you suggested it, so it only makes sense, right?
Yeah. Advice for writing a slice of life. I would say spend extra time on your characters and really know what you want them to achieve in the story. Not their goals, but know what part you want them to be in the story.
Those freaking character charts, fill that out.
Yeah.
What's your character's favorite kind of cake? What's your character's favorite song on In Utero? These are important details.
Yeah. I always normally say, every character should have a goal, every character should have a journey, but for a slice of life, I'd say spend a little bit more time devoted to how they're going to fit into the story. Are they the main character? Are they the main character's love interest / best friend? Are they the main character's teacher? Sort of think whose personality would fit where and fit best. Because, again, you can have more fantastical and wacky elements if you're going for a comedic version.
Something like that is generally plagues a lot of people, I find, are if you watch a lot of series, you get the idea what the tropey kind of characters are. So you build an archive in your head when you're making a story. So you'll be like, okay, I'm going to make a story. So this character is this and this character is that. Because I get it, because in a way you want to make your characters distinct. But if you think about real life, people aren't that violently distinct from each other all the time. Yeah. Obviously, everyone's different and they have different details about them, but not to that kind of extreme.
Yeah, you make people Well, it's always good to start, as you said, with K-On! And with a lot of things. I think it's nice to sort of, once you come up with a character, try and identify if they fit into any archetype, and then that just gives you that gives you extra ideas and a little base that you can sort of work on and work towards.
As is, you can't really even define her. Tsundere, not really. There's, not a thing that's as simple to box like her character, I find,
Yeah, she's the shy Kohei underclassman.
The normal one, same with Mugi. I have not seen many characters like Mugi.
She's the estranged rich girl who's lived a sheltered life.
There are a lot of those generally rich type characters, but again, there's lots of details to Mugi.
Yeah, there's a lot of
that make her different from other ones.
And
that's what you want to get. Again, you look at people in life, you're like, that person does this thing that's weird. I can use that. You always got to look at what you can use from people. That sounds terrible. That sounds like absolute shit. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Regards. Yeah, that is it right there.
Yeah, so we're just giving just some advice for a slice of life. I've given generic advice about characters. You should always spend lots of time on your characters, but whatever. Moving on.
You should practice a lot because I heard it is good to practice.
How I meant was you've got to focus on what part they're going to play. Don't just think. Because one personal problem I had from a slice of life was I came up with some quirks for some characters. Didn't know when they were going. Like,
this story was called "I Just Want a Normal School Life" with one chapter by Vacant.
Yeah, it's got a lot more. It just needs to be rewritten again, like everything.
Because you wrote it for 2014, right?
Yeah, that needs overhauling. But I came up with some quirks and stuff for different characters, and then I was like, for instance, they're in a club. They're part of a club that is the bottom of the food chain. They are the outcasts and outcasts, people who don't really fit anywhere. Here's one's character, the original description, and this is the beginning and end of what he was. He was
Cutting
a small,
edge.
sickly boy, undersized for the average kid his age, who had severe OCD, needed to clean everything constantly, would feel sick if he touched a dirty surface. That was it. That's all I had in my brain. I was like, okay, that's his character done.
Well, yeah, because if you're making a story, I find, if I have a story idea, I'm like, I need to make a cast of characters right now and write this shit out while it's still in my head.
Yeah. And I made that, and then it came to the story, and I was like, what's his role? What's he gonna do?
How is this interesting?
What's he gonna do? Is it gonna be comedic value where he carries a ridiculous amount of cleaning supplies? Is he gonna have any impact on the story? What the fuck is he gonna do in the show? In the story?
Yeah.
So always think about that and try and devote a bit of time to that. Is what I was trying to get out.
And when in doubt, just make another eromanga-sensei.
There you go. When in doubt, get the hentai out. There we go. That's the best thing for everything. When in doubt, break the hentai out. And you will have a successful story,
Episode
my
title.
friends. When in doubt, get the hentai out. Moving on, before we wrap up the show, we did say we were having a game, and you guessed it. It is Anime the News.
I really need to work on my harmonica skills. I have, in the 2 years I've had harmonicas, I have not done enough.
You are not stepping up your game on the old harmonica.
I am absolutely not. The only time I play it is when I
just
do
for
it.
the show.
Oh, that's it.
we need to make a little
I used
jingle.
to when I did some Bob songs, but I don't sing Bob songs anymore because they destroy my throat.
Fair enough. We're going to work on a jingle for the anime news, but the rules are simple. If you've not seen it before, we're going to take a news story from any publication and try and make a show. We'll ask the question, what if this was an anime? However, we're going to do a slice of life twist this week because it's the Slice of Life cast 2.0, kind of.
2.0, kind of.
1.5, we'll call it. Let's go down the Kingdom Hearts way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a news story, see if we can make a slice of life out of it. So, Manimal, do you want to go first, or would you like me to read the story I've done?
Here we go. Sale on summer reads at Oxfam. The town center in Regent Street recently launched a month-long book sale, and shoppers have until July 31st, this article is published in 2016, by the way, to grab themselves a bargain. Basically, it's a bookstore that has a wide range of books to suit everyone's tastes. And that's it. That's the whole entire news story.
Okay, so Oxfam, a well-known charity shop.
And they're selling books. They got lots of books. They got a wide variety for all kinds of tastes.
Yeah. It's a big, huge charity store, chain. Oxfam is very popular, so they're selling all their books. Okay, so Manimal, what if this was an anime? A slice of life anime?
Summertime, racing in the street, fighting in the street, dancing in the street, reading in the street. This new kid, his mom's he has a lolly mom, of course. She's get a job, kid. So he goes to work at the bookstore, and he thinks books are lame, but then he meets a girl who likes books, so he thinks books are cool.
Ah.
And then he reads books and does things at the store, and weird people come in. The end.
Okay.
It's basically Dagashi Kashi with books.
I was going to say. So
No, that would literally be Nagashikashi with books. Yeah.
yeah, weird people
Damn.
visit the store.
And there'd be book history. Like there was candy history, book history.
You could have like famous books. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would trying to fit. Oh no, that's not slice of life. I was gonna say, I would go down the I'd go down the route of the kid goes to the bookshop and he gets a different book each week, and when he opens the magic books, either that or he has a vivid imagination, and when he opens the book and starts to read, we enter that world with him. We are immersed into the world.
Is it like Be Kind Rewind?
Sure. I don't know.
That's the movie with Jack Black where he works at a rental store and they try to recreate the movies.
I have not seen it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's an okay movie.
It's an okay movie.
It's just okay.
I guess this would actually be like Mr. Ben. I don't know if you know that. It was a cartoon back in the 70s.
I don't know that.
It was an English cartoon back in the 70s or 80s.
That's why I don't know that.
And he'd go into a costume shop. He'd go into like costume store. He'd try a costume on in the changing room, and then he'd go into like, so if it was like an astronaut, he'd be in space, or if it was a pirate, he'd be a pirate. That was his thing.
Was he ever a pirate in space?
I cannot remember, because I can't remember ever watching
Doesn't have that much of a vivid imagination after all. Kids always thinking inside the box. Ugh.
You'd think, with it being the 70s and the rampant abuse of mushrooms, LSD, and acid around those times.
That was more the 60s, but yeah.
No, you telling me there wasn't no LSD around in the 70s?
No, it was Coke in the 70s.
That was the 80s. Coke was the 80s.
No, 70s was the era of Coke. Disco, Coke, New York,
80s.
they're all in the same circle. 80s was the era of AIDS.
That AIDS is not a drug.
Yeah, but that was what you would define the 80s by Michael Jackson and AIDS.
Okay. What do you define the 90s by?
Nirvana. And rap.
And rap. What about the noughties?
The what?
The noughties.
Naughties?
2000 to 2010.
Oh, you would define that as the internet and Black Eyed Peas. I don't know. There wasn't a clear group that destroyed stuff in the 2000s.
No, not really.
But anyways.
Anyway, so
you're talking about the dress up thing and then the bookstore idea.
Yeah. Okay. Bookstore idea. He goes to different worlds. Either he imagines it or it's actually a magic book. Maybe you could see, he could get a nice little romance thing going on with the book store clerk who's a
bookstore owner who is 60.
She's a female
and has never married.
There's got to be like a girl his age because he's got to be.
Why
like
can't
a
there be
kid.
Just a nice wholesome anime with
about
cougar
cougars?
love?
Cougar love. Maybe. Okay, let's go down that.
Nice. It's nice and wholesome.
Let's go down that route then. Let's go down the cougar
but they're
love
40
route.
years apart.
So he goes into the bookstore. He sees a nice little cougar. He thinks.
And don't worry, he's like 18, so it's okay.
No, of course, obviously. Well, no, this is a Japanese anime. He needs to be 15 to 16. Come on.
Oh, okay, fine.
We need to hit that underage demographic. If we're making a highly successful Japanese light novel, we need this kid to be younger.
Well, personally, if I was writing something, I would never write a character that young anymore.
Okay, fair enough. Well, he can be college age, I guess. We'll make him.
Yeah.
Is it from his perspective or the cougar's perspective?
Now, both would be really interesting. How about it should definitely be like a Sakamoto style perspective.
Okay.
Where there's like
the outside looking in.
Yeah, maybe like everyone in the bookstore is looking at this guy.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea. Yeah, the regular patrons of the bookstore and how he's so
you have this
cool.
freaking weirdo who's reading books and then he puts on like paper hats and pretends he's a pirate and they're like, what the shit is this kid doing?
But the cougar's in love. I like it. Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
There you go. You got it.
That's a good little story. Okay, well, fair enough. You've set the bar for our little anime news, Slice of Life
now,
edition.
Your news story
okay,
is
here we go.
Infinitely better than mine, however.
Well, hold on to your hats, because this is hold on to your paper pirate hat, because this is going to be a headline and a half. Horror and outrage as Asda, a well-known supermarket in the UK, stops selling individual carrots.
This is a news story from today, being
Horror
Sunday, May
and
15th.
outrage. Horror and outrage, this is. People across the country have been left angry and confused after Asda appeared to have stopped selling individual carrots. Customers hoping to buy a single carrot were horrified to find that the supermarket now only sells vegetables pre-packed in bags. Tweeting at Asda, someone, I'm not going to say the name, says, "Where are all the loose fruit and veg gone? I don't want a bag of carrots." And conjuring up the saddest scenario possible, another shopper told the Bristol Post, "Think at the poor granny having to carry 1 kilogram of carrots and 1 kilogram of potatoes home when she's cooking a stew for 1. It's not clear whether Asda have stopped selling loose vegetables across the country or just in some parts. However, it is definitely an issue in Bristol, Lancashire, and Manchester. Oh. Okay.
This is, not really an issue.
No. No, it is not. This is what I hate. I get angry reading stories like this. When you're using such, just using pejorative language like horror and outrage, left angry and confused. If you
About
were
individual
angry,
care.
yeah, if you were angry and confused, like, can you imagine the shop like that? I don't know what to do, but I'm just angry. Like punching potatoes.
Okay, this is a story. It's all about, what would you set this as the perspective as?
Okay,
a
I've
normal
got this.
a normal character who just wants to get one carrot for her grandma because they live together and all they need is 1 carrot. And they're really poor because they're out on the streets for a living, yet they have a house, so they're not really. So she just goes to get a carrot, and there's no individual carrots. So, the series ends.
Okay. Here's mine. I do want to just say as well, also, conjuring up the saddest scenario possible. A poor granny carrying a kilogram bag of carrots and a kilogram bag of potatoes. That's not the saddest scenario possible. I don't think that person knows the idea.
No,
the
not really.
Saddest scenario possible. Let's go.
Wait, is Eleanor Rigby going to be the opening of the show?
Yes. Going to.
Okay, good.
So here's my take on
has
this.
to be.
Here's my take on this. This is a lady goes into the shop, goes into Asda, discovers that ain't no individual fruit or veg, ain't no individual carrots. That ain't happening. She's angry and confused at this idea that her shops don't sell individual carrots. She decides, like, she is adamant she is going to start a picket line. She is going to protest Asda until they bring back individual veg. So she gets placards, she starts a rally online, and this is the story of her journey, really rallying and rebelling against Asda and its pre-packaged, group buying policy of vegetables. Because these fuckwits don't know. Some people just want a single carrot. Okay? If you want an adult version, the hentai version of this is, the plot twist is, she just wanted a carrot because she wanted to use it as a masturbatory device.
Of course.
So that's the hentai twist. We'll leave that one out ourselves. That's for those who want to do the fan fiction version. But yeah, we plot her journey. She goes higher, and she goes higher, and she meets more people, and she meets more and more people as this happens. And eventually she meets the CEO of vegetables for Asda, and he is an attractive guy, and they fall in love. And when they get married, they decide to bring back loose veg for all.
50 Shades of Orange, huh?
That's my little take on this. Or we could go the saddest route possible.
Eleanor Rigby.
What is the saddest, as this person said, conjuring up the saddest scenario possible?
Okay, the granny needs a carrot because she wants to make nice soup for her husband.
Yeah.
But
she can't buy them.
There is no husband.
Oh, husband died and she's in shock still.
But every night she needs to make him a bowl of soup to fulfill. This is actually kind of sad. Never mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay. All right. Angry and confused. Here's another take. Let's go on another take for it. Let's go down the comedy slice of life route.
Yes, please.
One single shop has loose individual vegetables on there. New law passes in Asda. It is a free-for-all, survival of the fittest, fight to the death for
single carrots. Because
they say...
Do carrots go bad? Like, what's the issue with this?
Of course they do.
Yeah, but like, you can just put them in your fridge for a little while, right? Like...
Yeah. They are cheap as shit as well, carrots. Like,
and first of all, I don't even know that they sell individual carrots over here. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, you have loose ones, like loose potatoes, loose veg, loose onions.
Yeah,
loose garlic.
I knew that, but I didn't know about the carrots.
You can get the carrots. They ain't expensive. That's just people, I don't know, horrified, shocked.
Why can't I get individual slices of bologna when I get a package of bologna?
Because you can't.
Wait, actually you could. You could just go to like some kind of deli-like place and ask for a few different slices or whatever.
That's very true, yeah.
So they could carve some meat.
From the bop bop. From the bop bop.
Get out.
Oh yeah, it's my bop bop.
Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah, it's my bop bop bopping and bopping bop. It's my bop bop.
Vegas song about Vegas butt.
Oh yeah, it's my bop bop.
Which I've never even seen, by the way. And, oh
hell
my
yeah,
God.
it's my bop. It's a lovely little peach. I'll have you know I get many a compliment on my little tight buns. It's one of my best features.
Do you sell them individually?
No, they come in a package of 2. Unfortunately.
Well, I am outraged that I can't just get one bun.
Well,
and I have to get both.
Never
I don't need
mind.
both. I only need one.
Do you know what? I'm too angry and confused to continue this show. So let's wrap it up.
So in conclusion, today we have learnt that Japan in a dish pan was actually off Lick My Deckles Off Baby and not Trout Mask Replica. That is the only thing we talked about on this episode.
That's all I can remember. That's it.
Sir,
that's the 80s done.
We are out of the 80s. Now we're going to go out of the ground and into the dirt, out of the sky, whatever the hell.
We're going into the 90s. And next episode is the year I was born. 1990.
Oh. So we're going to do a whole episode about Vacant, but he's not going to be on the episode.
Maybe not, actually. You might have to see what my schedule looks like next week.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's this episode. I'm going to take a parting shot to the upper lip.
Okay. Fair enough. Well,
yeah,
that sounds painful, but it'll be okay. It'll be a great fashion accessory. It's going to be in fashion in the next year or two, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening as ever, guys. It's been an interesting show. Just a chilled crew tonight. You know, slice of life cast.
You get to witness Cold Voice Manimal, which probably sounds the same as every other episode.
This is Cold Voice Manimal. If you want to hear a more in-depth discussion about slice of life shows or how to write it, let us know. Maybe that'll be one of the things we'll do on the writer's block, which is going to be coming. Episode 1 is coming some point.
In December, I recorded a shower cast where I talked about K-On! In the shower.
Of course you did. Of course you did. I
really wanted to do something with it, but it wasn't very good.
For a second, I don't disbelieve it for a second. Of course
I just
you did.
put my phone down and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I did, but it wasn't good enough to use.
You need to share that with us just so we can hear it.
I'll share you a clip and you can put it somewhere in this episode.
Okay.
Please actually do.
Okay, I will. Right then, guys. Thank you for listening to episode 89. It is in the books. Join us for episode 90 next week, where we are just 10 away from the triple digits of episode 100.
Don't jinx it!
I won't. Until next time, thank you for listening. Bye!
And that's why fruit juice is always the best preservative.